Hello everyone and welcome to the actual attic. It's Deborah from Attic Lane, and today, to celebrate having 1,000 subscribers, which is just amazing, I wanted to do something different for you and share the area where I work. So there's my chair with my patchwork cushion that I made some years ago. There's a cup of tea on the desk ready for us to start, so let's go and see what's on the desk. The reason my channel is called Attic Lane is because I really do craft in an attic down a lane. And this is my desk. This is my workspace. I'll move the camera slowly because I don't want to make you dizzy or seasick. You can see the amount of colour that I have around my desk. I like to have that. I find it inspirational. And over in the distance is my only light source. It's a tiny little window because this really is an attic. It's a very small space. And if I pan round, you can see there are some storage units against the wall, and in there I have a variety of things, patchwork, fabrics, all sorts of things, not just paper crafts. I've got a scan and cut, which I use nearly every time I'm in the attic, and I've got a couple of bags with some really nice pens and pencils in them. I'm going to drop the camera down under my desk so you can see the storage there. It might take a moment for the camera to adjust itself to the different levels of light and darkness under the desk. At the back is where I store my paper. Now, I always used to buy coloured paper. Every time some new colour came out, I would have it. But over the years I've discovered that you're better to focus on having craft colour, black or white. If you want to colour them up, you can use inks. You can colour up just the borders with different colour Copic pens or markers or whatever medium you have. You don't need to buy every new colour that comes out. So I now restrain myself, and it means that I'm never looking for just the perfect colour of card, because with the amount of colour that I have above my desk, I should be able to get any colour that I really need. So I keep my papers and my envelopes and my card at the back under the desk, and then outside of kicking distance I keep my various cutters. I have my Martha Stewart card folding base, my Tim Holtz tonic guillotine. I use this most out of all of, I've only got 2 cutters, but this is the one that I use the most. I have a plain board for when I want to protect the mat on my desk. If I'm doing embossing, I'll put that under whatever I'm embossing, and then I have also my self-healing cutting mat. So there's quite a lot stored under my desk as well. Because this is quite a dark room, I've got 2 very powerful lamps which shine onto my desk, and they both have something like 1500 watt bulbs in them, very powerful, and it means that I've got lovely bright light to work with. The central arm there, this thing here, is where I suspend my camera when I'm doing overhead work, and it was made for me by my partner, who's very clever and very versatile, and it's just some plumber's pipe using one of the elbows, and we've glued it into place, and my camera slots in the centre, just in there. I can't show you because I'm using the camera, and that's how I film. Behind my desk is a purpose-made set of shelves. The roof space slopes, so my partner cut these so that they fitted exactly within the roof space and gave us the maximum storage that we could get on that wall. He is very versatile. There I keep all of my other paints, my acrylic paints. I have quite a few Imagination Crafts Starlight metallic paints because they give me fantastic glimmer. And as I mentioned when I was talking about the card that I use, I don't need to buy glitter or shiny paper now, because if I want a shiny background, I will just use one of my Imagination Crafts paints to create that card. I also have my various texture mediums on this shelf, and below the shelf, I'll just pan down a little way, there's a string which has a number of cards on it. They may be cards that I've made recently that I really like, and I want to just have them on display for a little while I move on to my next set of cards. It's really nice just to remind myself what I've been making, because when I'm making again I try and put in lots of variety, make sure I'm not repeating myself too much. This is another set of purpose-built shelves to take all of my Paper Artsy chalk acrylics. I use these quite a lot. I don't always use them in my videos, but I do like to have the colours out there so I can see exactly what I have. In the corner is where I store my Nuvo mousses. They're just piled up one on top of each other. And I have 2 plastic containers that contain my current stamps, or stamps that I'm using the most, and I try and keep them in manufacturer's order so that way I know which stamps will work together. The storage unit is a unit that I made out of foam board, so that's the sort of stuff that you usually use to mount photographs, and if you use a hot glue gun and some foam board, it's amazing what you can make. On top of it I keep my washi tape. I don't have a lot of washi tape, but I like to have it available. And beyond that I have my hex chart for the Copic markers. To the left of all the Copic pens is a section where I keep my Clean Colour Real Brush Zig watercolour pens, and to the left of that again are the Distress Oxide ink pads that I currently have. Next to my Distress Oxides I have my stamp positioning tool. I have Tim Holtz Distress markers. I've had those for about 8 or 9 years and they still work. And then I have this roundulation thing, carousel, and in there I keep my brushes, some of my matte mediums, my glues, tweezers, pokey tools, repositionable tape. Anything that I use on a very regular basis will be in the carousel. I have a very shallow tray in which I store my Versacolour inks, all those tiny little inks, and also the large pads of the inks I use the most. So that will be Versacolour ink and black inks as well. And moving round for the last time, I have a little set of drawers right beside my desk, and that's where I keep my Big Shot. Whenever you visit me in the attic then, this is where we are, this is where we sit, and we have a lovely relaxing time making cards using wonderful colours and lovely mediums and nice texture pastes and stencils and stamps and all sorts of things, and usually with a nice cup of tea. So I hope you will continue to join me and you will continue to enjoy the videos, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.